So, Speco, along with the AIN group, we've been fairly newly partnered since the beginning of the year, basically, or December into December. So we've had a great relationship out of the gate. We've been on a lot of individual calls, and we wanted to bring this to the group. So just a quick update on what we are doing as Speco with the update here as far as COVID is concerned. With that, we are shipping every day. So we are open. We have been open. Of course, we are ready to handle any orders that you have. Our warehouse, customer service, and tech support are all operating on a normal schedule. Our customer service and tech support are working from home, but our warehouse is open and following all social distancing guidelines and taking all precautions necessary to stay safe. But we're still very efficiently getting products out the door. As you go through, you're going to be working with distribution. So Speco is a distribution manufacturer through the AAN group. So we're working with the larger distributors out there. And if there's anybody that you're working with today that you think may not be part of that AIN group, let us know. And we'll make sure we're getting all credit and everything together. But we are still doing our normal. We can drop ship to locations if you need to drop ship to an end user, whatever it might be. If you just want to reduce the amount of touches the products have between here and your end user. I'm going to just kind of jump into what we're doing from our side. So when it comes to products, right? So we're going to talk about how we tie everything together and how we can help you to sell to your customer. And one of those things, this presentation that I'm doing today it's always a great idea to lean on the manufacturers as an extension of your sales team, right? So we want to be a part of that. So in conjunction with, if it's Mark Osborne or Pete or anybody, Larry, Rod, Melanie, anybody, we can certainly help work with you to make presentations directly to your end user. So if you find yourself in maybe some unfamiliar ground when it comes to particular technology, maybe you don't know access control as well as video, or how to integrate it together, and you need a virtual demo done of that to your customers, lean on us, let us do it, we'll take care of it. And how we kind of do everything is, as Speco, we wrap everything together into one nice tight package of putting access control, video, and audio together. So we have what's called SecureGuard VMS. So this is really the nucleus of the system, and this is what you want to talk to your end users about and saying, hey, let's pull all your technology back into one piece of software that we can pull together so we can view your cameras, we can see what's happening, events for access control, do two-way audio if you want to talk down to certain areas. We have that ability to do that. So SecureGuard VMS is the nucleus for Speco and brings everything back. So this VMS is integrated with some third-party software. We'll talk about RMR in a second. We have an RMR solution that we can help you with, but we also have third-party SureView, MX, iView Now, Safer is an analytics company that does facial recognition and object counting, those types of analytics. That's a third-party bolt-on that we can do. We also have access control. I'll talk about that in a minute too. We also have a CMS, which is just a lighter version of our VMS, where it allows the end user to do live view and playback from multiple locations from their PC or laptop without having to put a heavy piece of software on there. If they're not doing configuration of a system, they don't need it. They don't need a heavy piece of software with that's demanding of more processing. They just need a light piece. They can pull everything into one area, be able to view up to 64 cameras on one screen, and see each location in a tree on the left-hand side, where they can just pick and choose from there. We have a client app. So apps are driving everything. So as we look at this virtual world we live in, everything has to be on demand. Everybody wants things right away. So looking at the mobile phone that might be in your hand right now, you'll see that there's a high demand for people wanting to go into their video system or access control system, be able to operate it, see what's happening in real time, be able to play back, and then maybe offload some of that data and send it to somebody through their mobile device. So we have a client app where I can, like the SecureGuard VMS or CMS, I can view multiple locations on one screen without having to go location by location to see what's happening in each one and log out, log back into location 2, log out of that, go to location 3, and so on and so forth. So the SecureGuard also offers Apple TV. So we have what's called SecureGuard Client for Apple TV. And basically what this does is it can turn any device with an Apple TV plugged into it into a public view monitor, or if you're in a residential application and you're sitting back on, looking at your beautiful, 75-inch, 4K TV, and you want to see your front door, you could just simply speak into the Apple remote using voice recognition, and it'll launch your SecureGuard client for you, your end user, and they'll be able to look into their system, see their front door without having to get off the couch. So it's really a nice thing. So SecureGuard's pulling everything back. We also integrate with gunshot detection. So if you're, at home or at your business or at home right now, and you're looking through these blueprints and plans, and if you've had any demand for somebody with gunshot detection, so if it's a school or hospital or something like that, and they want to get alerted immediately, we have a gunshot detection. We work and integrate with gunshot detectors there. You see a couple of them at the bottom, shooter detection systems and shot tracer. So if in the event somebody were to walk on campus, shoot a gun, an immediate text message is going to be sent to every device that's opted in that's going to say, active shooter on campus, initiate a lockdown plan. So we have that all integrated, and it's a complete system, again, where everything ties back from a Speco device. And when we talk about IP, there's a savings too. When you're using our SecureGuard system or servers, whatever it might be, there's no licensing fees from Speco either. So if you're using a Speco camera to a Speco server, there are no licensing fees on the IP camera side, surveillance side. Stepping up into the next level of analytics is facial recognition. So a lot of different things we can use this for. So again, as you go into the spec and somebody's asking for, you may not have known, if you know of Speco, some people know us just as the bullet camera company, or a company that's doing entry-level type cameras and NVRs, that type of thing. And it's really, we've been working very hard into the enterprise level space too. So when you need something like facial recognition, we have it. So you're going to capture, store, and recognize faces that you can search during playback. You could set up lists of good guys, bad guys, and recognize people as they come on site. Again, this is a self-contained system with a camera and the recorder. There are no licenses or monthly fees when you're doing facial recognition. And it'll also tell you when it's recognizing people, the percentage factor of the authentication of that person. So it'll capture someone's face, and sometimes they'll have a beard one day and maybe not the next day, but it'll say, hey, there's an 85% chance that this person is on your campus right now or on your facility, or at your facility. So this is a great thing to do for those people who need a higher end method of authentication. So this also couples with our access control. So our Speco access control can now do two-factor authentication. So what does that mean? That's simply, I have to present my face. If I'm TJ and I'm walking into Speco, I look up at a camera. The facial recognition camera is going to identify me as TJ, but if I don't present a card to the reader as well, as a second form of authentication, I get denied, and vice versa. If I present my card and my face doesn't match, I don't get in. So we have two-factor authentication, and this obviously eliminates the issue of, okay, I dropped my card in the parking lot, and then somebody came in after me and walked right through the door. So it's a great add-on. This is a great, facial recognition is another buzzword where everybody's trying to get into it. The costs are coming down now, and it's important. So keeping on that analytics type of theme, we do have analytics that are basic analytics that we can now use to eliminate a lot of false alarms. So again, you get back to what's going to make the difference between you and the person behind you that's doing a quote. Well, if you can tell people that they're not going to get a message every 5 minutes that there's motion outside due to leaves or pets or changes of the weather and pixelation change from shadows, and you can now give them more of a solid recording and more reliable events, you can eliminate false alarms by ignoring all that noise in the background. So you can do things also like line crossing or intrusion. You want to know, okay, if points A to B, I'm okay with anybody coming A to B. So this is that, that crowd type thing where, let's say, a big venue is letting people out and everybody's going in one direction. If somebody goes in the opposite direction, it's going to pick that person up and send an event to the security team. We can also do museum search. So when we look at museum search, this is that, somebody takes an object off the wall, out of a particular area, a laptop off of the table. I just draw a box around it. It's going to show me every time there was a pixelation change and send you that event and say, hey, this is when this particular item was stolen. You also have object left behind. So with object left behind, this is somebody puts the backpack down. When they put the backpack down and they leave it and nobody comes back for it, it's going to send an alert at a certain period of time, and it's going to notify somebody that, hey, somebody dropped this package and it could be a suspect item that somebody should look into right away. So just some basic analytics that you can add as you're doing your virtual sale to your folks, to your end users. This is really a nice add-on. So then there's access control. So what we want to do is make things easy for you, and we want to make things lighter on the IT manager when it comes to these installations. Things can get pretty heavy, as you know, and you look at data intensiveness of a video surveillance system alone. The industry is selling, and Speco included, 4K solutions integrated with access control, with the fire alarm system, the burglar alarm system. There's so many different ways, and a security system is going to drive a lot of data. So what we're doing is a browser managed access control platform. And what we're doing is we want to eliminate the headache to the IT manager of having to either work with you or work with, work directly with that IT guy where they have to load software on different machines. So we have a competitor in the space on the access control side, and they're a good manufacturer, but the name of that manufacturer is Keyscan. But they have a software-based solution. So what they have to do is take if for anybody who wants to manage the access control system, they have to load a piece of software on all of the PCs or Macs that will be used to operate the system. And that can be pretty cumbersome. So it has to have the right, processor, it has to have the right version of Windows, whatever that might be, or Mac, and it could be a real bear. So with our access control system, because it's browser managed, you just go into an IP address. Everything is done behind the scenes. So you can log in from any device, a PC, a Mac, Windows-based, whether it's Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11, hasn't come out yet, but we already know it's going to be compatible because it's browser managed. But the really nice part about it is you may be having some requests today for people saying, hey, I really would love to integrate my access control system with my video, and I want to associate cameras with doors. And typically that's an additional license. So if I were to integrate my Keyscan access control system and I wanted video, and let's say I'm going to add Hike Vision to it, it's an additional software charge of, or a licensing charge of almost $500 to do that. With Speco, you can integrate our NVRs and cameras into the access control system, the browser managed access control system, and through July at no charge. So there's no licensing fee. And then after July, there will only be a one-time licensing fee of $99. Those licensing fees for all of our access control is non-recurring, so they're one-time fees, and it's very, very simple to use. So you'll get event tagging, auto live camera pop-up. You can just view the cameras if you'd like through your access control system. And then the hardware is either server or client-based. So no matter what you put in, if you put a single door controller in 5 different locations, you can have one be the server, the rest be clients, and then be able to operate all those together by logging into one location, and then you can manage them all together. Or if you sell one of those buildings, you could change the one that you sold to a server and then keep the other ones just one server and 3 clients, and now you have the ability to have that operate as a separate system. So very flexible access control platform and very easy to manage for not only you, but your end users as well. So a lot of great benefits to our access control and our video integration piece. Are there any questions so far? Anybody would like to jump in? I'm happy to answer any questions. So just one other thing to mention here too, with access control, if you have an opportunity for an end user and you'd like to get an actual demo, hands-on demo of our system, we do have it running virtually. So we'll be able to log into a system, let you log into a system. We have logins available for you that if you wanted to do the same type of Zoom webinar for your customers, we'd be happy to sit in with you, or you could do it on your own if you feel comfortable. So we have that ability. So if you want to virtually sell our access control systems, those demos are available to you today. I spoke earlier about recurring monthly revenue. So this again is, how do we continue to have revenue streams come in and have an opportunity to make money for the system without even having to touch it. So everybody's talking about the cloud. How do we move things to the cloud? So out right now, there's a big push with Simply Safe, with some of your competitors have their own brands. National competitors have their own brands of cameras that go to a cloud that they host. But then there's Ring and Nest, of course, the over-the-counter type of do-it-yourself products. So what we're doing with Speco Cloud is we're taking our existing cameras that are surveillance grade cameras. So they're tamper-proof, weatherproof, that type of camera, where you can plug it in with a P2P networking. Very simple. You're just gonna scan a QR code with your app. It's gonna put the camera right on the network for remote view, and it's gonna give you the opportunity to make some RMR. So basically what that means for you is if we have a camera or plan that will do 7 days continuous recording, we're gonna charge you, we'll call it $525 a month, and then you can charge your customer $10 a month. So you would make that additional $475 a month per camera, and we also have the ability to brand it for you. So when we're talking about how do you get your name out there, excuse me, I just skipped ahead on accident, but at the bottom right here, we have the ability to get your brand out there too. So this is important. So while the AIN group is doing a phenomenal job of getting you some marketing materials to get out to your end users to help drive more demand and more business, once you do have it installed, you want a product or a partner like Speco that is going to help you get that brand out there too. So what does that mean? I'm going to put your logo on the app. So when your end user is out and after you've done your install, and they show it to their friends, business partner, whoever it might be, and say, hey, here's my front door of my office, my house. It's going to have your logo on it. So in hopes that someone will say, hey, that's really nice. I love the quality of that. Can you give me their name and number? I'd love to get one installed at my home as well. So with Ring or a Nest, you're not getting the RMR and you're not getting the branding piece. That all goes to them. And, and what's going to happen is they see it, somebody's going to show it to somebody else on their phone, and they're going to run to a Best Buy or some big box store to try to buy those cameras. So important that we put your logo in front of the customer as many times a day as we can. We want them to see you constantly. We have our wall mount recorders. This is just a unique product for Speco. This is a patented design. So all of our NVRs and DVRs, for the most part, up to 16 channels, will reside in a wall mount can if you choose to. It is an option. So they are covert. They will install anywhere. These lock away like an alarm panel, fire panel, whatever you're doing today, data. And I can put your logo on the front panel of this as well. So this happens again in DVR, so HD over coax if you need it, or NVRs. We lock it away, saves space, saves time. Some of these are built in with, on the DVR side, with built-in power supplies, and of course the NVRs have built-in PoE as well. So these are a great time saver, space saver for any application out there. If you're doing some virtual selling and you want to show a really nice demo, I would encourage you can utilize our website for an online demo of how Ultra Intensifier works. We also have YouTube videos that we can supply to you, and we can also make you your own video. So if you wanted to have your own YouTube video of any of these demonstrations that I'm showing you so far, all you'd have to do is make a simple request to us, send us your logo, and what we would do is shoot a video about your company on the front end, which would be, a 10 to 20 seconds. Hey, I'm ABC dealer, and want to talk to you about a new technology called Ultra Intensifier, color by day, color by low light. And here's an example of what it looks like. And then we run into what the Speco demo looks like. And then on the back end, we'll end it with your information and say, contact us now for more information. So getting back to Ultra Intensifier, this is color by day, color by low light. So what do we want to do? We want to make sure that if by some chance somebody comes onto a premise and they are, we want to identify what color clothes, what color was the car that they came in. Many of you are installing IR cameras today, and we have them, and they work great. They're fantastic, but they will go into a monochrome mode, and they are distance limited. So it's whatever reflects back at the camera is the picture you're going to get, and you'll get a nice, clean, high-res image. But again, you're in black and white or monochrome, so you won't be able to identify what color the car was or what color the person's clothing is. So sliding just to the left here, this is a competitor's camera that we had here, and you'll see that there's some graininess and ghosting, and the colors are slightly muted here. And you're going to get motion blur. With Ultra Intensifier, you can see that middle shot, very vibrant colors, no distance limitations because it's Intensify. You don't have to rely on IR. So we can go several hundred feet where we can still get a very usable image and very smooth video because of what we're doing with the processing of slow shutter and noise reduction. So our Ultra Intensifier cameras last year at the ISC West Show won the 2019 IP Camera of the Year award. So we're very happy about that. Any questions regarding Ultra Intensifier? And again, all demos, we'd love to set these virtual demos up for you and make videos. And then kits. So, you're looking for an opportunity for a kit and you're going door to door maybe, or you have, we have a client that's doing these and is going door to door, and they have their sales team out, and they're doing about 30 kits a month with our ZipK 4T2 and 8T2s there. And those ZipK 4T2 and 8T2 are basically everything in one box with the exception of the monitor. So it has either, for the 4-channel, it has 4 or 5 megapixel cameras. For the 8-channel, it has the 8-position NVR and 6 cameras that are at 5 megapixels. And those 2 kits include the wiring, if you need it, and all accessories to make the complete install. You just have to add your own monitor. The ZipK4 W2 is a wireless solution. So this is great for the small to medium-sized business. This is perfect for that deli, pizzeria, small residential, maybe a small warehouse where you're just going to plug them into power outlets. Each of those cameras is provided with either a 6-foot cable or a 40-foot cable extender. To get to that outlet, they automatically enroll back to the NVR. You would do your QR code P2P setup with the app to get it networked, and then your end users are off and running. They can just look at their app, put in a username and password for them, and then they're able to view those cameras at any time from anywhere in the world. So really, really nice feature. And we have free DDNS, and it's also important to mention that as you're making your sales pitch to your customers, many people are concerned, where is my data going? When you connect this, because people are concerned about, okay, phoning home to China, where is it residing? And, of course, all the images are stored locally. The connections go back through a server typically. So our servers are all based here in the US, in New York specifically, and we have redundancy as well if there was an issue with our servers. But you never have to worry about a Speco product dialing home to China or any other country for that matter. It all stays in the US. We also have some specialty options. So you may be getting asked, hey, what do I do, in a specialty application? I need a 360 camera. I need a multi-sensor camera because my end user only wants one camera on the front with a wide angle shot. Well, if you do the multi-sensor camera, you can get a 180 image, put one camera in the middle of the building in the front, maybe over the door, and I can get the entire parking lot, get everything all in one in a high-res image. Or if I need a 360 camera for a retail application or a commercial application, stick it in the middle of the room on the ceiling, and you have the ability to do PTZ, panoramic, you can zoom into any area, and you can also include audio with that too. So if you want to do two-way audio, talk down to a certain area, you can do that too. We also offer corner mount styles. So we have our intensifier in if you look in the lower left of this box, I have the intensifiers in a discrete ceiling mount camera here. You can see some corner mounts. This triangle one is perfect for elevators or ATM areas. So we have a lot of different specialty cameras for most any application. So when you're combining your standard bullet dome turrets and you need something specialty, look to Speco again. You may have that opportunity to do that. I'm going to skip this slide because I wasn't supposed to include that. So, warranty. So you want to know, how do we back it up? So you want to tell your customers as you're doing your sales pitch, and, again, a lot of this is going to be over the phone. So how do we translate this? So we want to, let them know that you're working with a company that's backing up their product. So we have a 5-year warranty on all of our cameras, DVRs, NVRs, hybrid recorders, and the like. So it's 1 year on the PTZ cameras. The exception to the recorder warranty is that it's 3 years on the hard drives. And then we have on our servers, if you happen to be getting into larger scale applications where you're getting into 24, 64, 128 camera type jobs, you're going to probably want to use a server at that point. And what we have is a 3-year on-site warranty, and basically it's, hardware goes bad, you call into our tech support and they say, okay, you have a bad network card, you have a bad hard drive, whatever it might be. We're going to overnight those parts to the end user location, and we're also going to dispatch a third-party IT certified company to go out and make that swap for you. So it's not one of your competitors. It is just an IT company that does that for a living. It's an important thing to have, because if you have 128 cameras deployed at a site, you're certainly not going to be able to take that server, unplug it, and send it back to Speco for servicing and be down for any period of time. So we understand that, and we want to make sure it's efficient for you. We include the junction boxes in most of the boxes for our cameras. And that makes it easier for the install. So when your techs are on site and they're doing the installs, they don't have to go to back to distribution for a junction box in hopes that it's going to be on the shelf, or go, worse, go to Home Depot and try to get a double gang box and do something crazy with that too. So I want to, if I can, I wanted to ask anybody on if can you tell me where you are with recurring monthly revenue? I know that's one of the hot buttons I wanted to check on with you. And so tell me who you're using. Anybody share that?
Anybody?
Stop the share. Anybody out there?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's okay. And if you don't, so the RMR we think is a really important piece to this, and it's something that, again, we'd like to get you more information on. So after this call, we're going to follow up. I'll follow up with an email to everybody who's attended, and I'll send out a sheet of where we are with the monthly RMR fees by plan, and we'll get that to you. And then, of course, I'll follow up this entire slide deck. But I would encourage everybody, if there's anything we can do to help you to help sell virtually and get to your customers, the main purpose of this was to kind of give you an overview of where we are, and then give you some of the marketing capabilities that we have when it comes to doing the videos, the custom videos, and also virtual demos, getting our access control out there, giving you a login so you can log into the access control, kick the tires a little bit, and then let us assist you in pushing for some assistance when it comes to closing these deals. So if there's anything we can do, please feel free to reach out to us. I want to thank everybody who's attended. And again, if there's any questions, it's certainly open to any questions. And Melanie, I'll turn it back over to you.
TJ?
Yes.
Hi, Rod White here. How you doing?
Hey, Rod.
Hey, sorry I got on a little late. I was on another call.
No problem.
The RMR is as important as anything that we've looked at here. I know in the one-on-one webinars we've done here recently, it's been very important. So anything you have on a sell sheet like that is great. I think fantastic idea is your ability to customize YouTube for the dealer. We're living in the world of virtual communication right now, and presentation, whether it's to a commercial business or to a builder or a builder client, homeowner client. Just fantastic support. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Ron. I appreciate you jumping in. And yeah, absolutely, I'll follow up and I'll make sure everybody has everything they need for that RMR piece. And please don't be bashful. And like I said, we're a fairly new vendor with and partner to the AN group, but everybody's been fantastic so far, and we've done a lot of one-on-one calls. So like I said, this is a general overview. If you want to dig deeper and do a separate Zoom webinar with us, with Rod's assistant Mark, anybody, Larry, please let us know. Now is a great time for us. Of course, everybody's a little bit more homebound, of course, than normal, but we're ready to go, ready to help out and do our part to help you build your business. So I appreciate everybody's time today, and that's all I have.